Nick Extra inside the Nicktoons studio.
With SpongeBob, we start out real rough. We create a box. He's pretty much a square. His eyes go about right here, and they overlap a little bit. Right at this crosshair right here, I'm going to put his nose sticking out, and I'm going to put a little circle for the cheek. I'm going to bring it around and put his mouth in. His teeth basically are divided by this middle line right here. Then we put the little lip in. I'm going to put in the pupils, put on his tie, his shirt up here, and his pants down here, and we put in his belt loops. And we just start adding the details now. Sketch his socks on and the heels of his shoes. And what we do last is add those ridges, and we've got SpongeBob.
Growing up, I always had this kind of fixation on art. You know, it wasn't just a thing that came out of nowhere. I always liked it. And one thing that I always really appreciated was on Nickelodeon, they would do these sorts of like behind the scenes moments where they would take you into the drawing room with the creators of varying, importance. And they would take you step by step of very quickly how to draw a character from a show. The one that really stuck with me when I was a kid was the Plankton one because it was so simple. And even though Plankton wasn't exactly my favorite character, I would always remember seeing those tutorials, even though they're very, very quick and very fast, because they were commercial breaks. I always thought they were really cool. And I always really liked things like that too. And especially on YouTube as of late, between speed paints and art tutorials on how to draw different things, I feel like nobody's really had the ego to show you how to draw their character specifically. So that's where I come in. My name is Sydney. I've been an artist for about well over a decade and a half. Self-taught. I've attended school, and I have characters. And today I think I want to show you how to draw one. I make art tutorials on this channel, by the way. If you're coming from one, welcome back. If you're brand new to the channel, how are you? If you are brand new to the channel, you probably don't know, but I am an animator and a filmmaker. And for the past, I want to say 2 months, because I'm really lazy, I've been working on a film based off of a comic that I did a while back, with some stuff rewritten and some designs redone, of course. And I've been drawing this character over and over again, and she's one of my favorites. I've had her for about almost 8 to 9 years now, and she's very near and dear to me. And today I wanted to go over how to draw her, and the different design decisions that I made, and the, kind of decisions that I've made when it comes to, drawing her, and, that sort of stuff. I hope this video kind of, maybe gives you a bit of insight on how I design things, if that's your kind of interest, is working in design, because I design my character specifically for animation, and maybe you might even just like watching someone draw and talk about it. But, I'll show you how I draw her, and we can go from there. This is unscripted like all my other videos that I do, so bear with me. Once again, for those who don't know, I use Metabang Paint Pro as my program. It is completely free. I highly recommend it. I've been using it for the better part of God knows how long. I think I gave an amount in my last tutorial that I just uploaded, which should be the torso tutorial if you're interested in doing that. But I highly recommend this software. I may do a tutorial on it in the future. I have some people in my stream chat who asked me to. and I see no reason not to, because I love this software and I think more people should use it. So we're gonna get started very simply with her head and her body. So I'm gonna do this sort of like slanty stance where she's got her weight on this foot here, and then she's got her other foot out here. I'm gonna put her hand on her hip there, and then we're gonna actually draw her sword over her shoulder. So already, you know, just a couple of lines and her pose is pretty well done. This will not be a full finished colored drawing. This is going to be a very simple sketch with a few layers over top, just to go over different design aspects and be very, very like digestible. So we're going to cut her head into shapes or sizes so I can get the proportions of her face correct. We're gonna do her chin as we're doing here. And we're gonna do her chin into her neck. And then we're gonna do her torso. If you just came from the torso tutorial, you know what we're doing here. She has very large hips because she is actually, we're gonna hop up here for a second, a bunny. Gotta get that bunny ear right. My cat is bothering me. She is in fact a bunny. She's got big rabbit ears sticking out of her head. Those don't look right. I've been trying to get out of doing really simple ears, so I'm trying to make them a little more detailed, if you will. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, that's a little better. I can curl that in and curl that in and curl that in. So this is my character Alyce, and she is a bit of a speedster, hence the rabbit. She uses twin swords, but we're only going to draw the one. And she's very sporty and bubbly and fun. And, you know, she's just an absolute joy to draw and animate, and always has been. We're going to draw in her hand here. This isn't so much a tutorial as it is just kind of like a discussion and an example of me drawing in real time, rather than me speeding things up. And doing all of this raw as well, so you can see, you know, if I mess up or if I do anything wrong. You know, there's no movie magic to kind of make things look a little better. We're gonna curve out her hips here. She's got really big thighs. And I like doing little nubby feet. I don't like doing actual feet. I like doing nubby feet. I think doing nubby feet brings a little more character to the character. It results in some design decisions that are kind of difficult to work around, but you know what? It's worth it for her to be like an extra 10% cuter. We're gonna curve that around, and we've got pretty decent little pose going on here. Gotta thicken up because I gotta match up how her arm up here is to down here. Alrighty. So we've got her general pose down. It's this very cocky, very, you know, confident, kind of like, you know, happy pose, which is very in character. And now we're gonna do her face. So when I do eyes and I do like character sketches, I like to start with the top lid of the eye, because it kind of helps me figure out like where the emotion initially is. And we can add her eyebrows, which are very simple. They've kind of got this like this shape, but simplified down into just a black line. And she's got these big big, adorable eyes. If you can hear that, that is my cat. And she's got these little bottom lashes that stick out here. And she's got, you know, under eyelashes. And she's got her little bunny nose that's just an unfinished triangle. She's got this big smile on her face. Here she is. That was my cat. Can you chill? What is your problem? From here, I do a little bit over here. I do this little squiggle to show this is where her hairline is. And then I draw a little flake of hair. It's like a little soft point like this. And then I do another one starting from here that goes over her eye. So that both of her eyes are visible. Then on this side, I do a nice big long one like that. Kind of sits behind her cheek though a little bit, so it only covers a little bit there. And then I do a little fleck off this way. Then we go down here and we go up here and we give her signature look, which is these big 3 spikes that she has coming out of the side of her head. These flip-flop on either side, depending, makes animating her way easier. But for the most part, I prefer them on her right side. And then another little detail is that she has very poofy, bouncy hair. And so it kind of sticks out like this, and it goes round, then it goes like that. Same thing on this side. Very, round and poofy. And it goes all the way down to basically her butt. Goes all the way down. Which is kind of hard to deal with because she does have a little bunny tail, which we can draw like down here. But, so she has very spiky, very messy, very bouncy hair that's both sharp and round, as we can see here. And if you watched my shape language tutorial, you would know what that means. But if you haven't, I'll explain it here. So it both makes her very energetic, as well as soft. Her hair is very curly and very bouncy. So you get the sense that she's, a bit messy, but she's not like, rigid. She's very flowy. Even the rest of her design is very, round and sharp at the same time. So from here, we're going to do her jacket that sits over her chest. She gets this cool little collar, and then it kind of tapers off to the side here. And then I do a little sleeve and another little sleeve, and I do this line to note where the top of the jacket is. And then she's got her sleeves rolled up. So. Like bada boom. And then we do a little bit of an inside inlay for the jacket because it is like armored. And that's kind of it for the jacket, honestly, because the next part, as you can probably tell, something's a little missing from we gotta add the fun part. These kind of take up a lot of space, if you would believe it. And then we do a very deep little U here. And then we do another U inside because this is actually her bra. It's her little sports bra that she wears underneath her little crop top. That actually sticks out from her crop top as well. Just get rid of all of that to kind of help that stick out a little more. Just cross these. And then we add a little bit of the cleavage and we do a little tuft of fur. And then I add her collarbones in. Now her jacket and the rest of her design is very, I tried to combine like motorcycle rider with, jogger, because again, she's like a speeder, and the setting that she lives in is very postmodern, very sci-fi. Not exactly super sci-fi, but she has a very simple belt design. The belt buckle is kind of like that, where this bottom part is black. Either the bottom part is black or the top part's black. I forget, honestly. I'd have to reference her image, but for the sake of the sketch, that works. And then you got the little side buckles, and then she's got, for lack of a better way to call them, little hot pants that sit pretty high up on her legs. And these are like straight black. So we can shade those on in as such. And then we can add her pockets and her little zipper thing that happens. Yeah. She also wears gloves. They are fingerless gloves, and then this little base down here is black. And a lot of design decisions that I make come down to ease of animation, because animation is hard, and the easier I can make things on myself, the better. So you'll notice a lot in a lot of the animations that I do and a lot of designs that I do, I have this sort of like segment kind of thing that I do. So for instance, with her arms, her segment primary is this top part, which is her sleeve. And then this, this portion, this one that I'm coloring in here right there, becomes the separator that then the arm connects to. And then the arm goes into the other connector, which is where the hand goes into. I know I went off screen, but so that's why I do a lot of these kind of shapes in designs, because they kind of help, especially here in the pants, they kind of help tell me where things are. And they're very easy to foreshorten without too much problem, because all it takes is me going from this to this to change the direction and the spacing of where this is. So it makes, that kind of grasp very quick for the eye. And then down here, she's got boxing boots. They're based off of motorcycle boots, but they look more like boxing boots from like Hajime no Ippo or something. So she's got this little belt on the side, this little belt that like loops the whole of the foot. Then she's got a little, it's not really a heel as much as it's just like black on the bottom of the boot. And then you drag down the sides of the boot where the laces are, like so. And then, because she feels a little naked down here, we give her tights that sit just above the knee. Like this. And then we can give her her sword. This is a cool long sword. You won't really get to see the full length of, or even the full design of, but and then the rest of this gets to be black. Her design is very black and white with a little accent of blue. Her jacket's blue. And the like hand part of her gloves is blue, and her boots are blue as well. But yeah, very simple, very quick, very, basic little sketch. Another detail I forgot to mention is that she does have a fur pattern. So her legs have a little bit of a split. Her arms have a little bit of a split. Even her face, it goes from there to there. And then she also has a scar across her nose. Forgot to add that. Sometimes I do. But yeah. A very quick, very simple, little half tutorial, half demonstration to talk about, you know, different aspects of her. You know, going from her very bouncy, you know, fun hair to her motorcycle and boxing inspired boots, down to just her general sporty kind of, you know, happy party vibe, because, you know, that's who she is outwardly. And, you know, a big part of character design is actually getting a feeling for the character off the rip as soon as you see them. And I certainly feel like with the way that I've designed Alyce, you can get, you know, that kind of feeling from her very quickly. At least I think so anyways, but, you know, I'm also biased because I've been working with her for almost 9 years. But I hope you enjoyed watching me do a quick little sketch. I know it's not, you know, the usual kind of art content people consume. Usually they like the nice, pretty, completed things. But I stand by that you shouldn't focus on making things perfect. You should be focusing on making things that you like. And if you like perfect things, go for it, but you should be having fun with art, not stressing over it. And honestly, doing this little doodle, next to no stress. And I like that. So, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, feel free. We do art tutorials, not just like this. We do actual tutorials telling you how to draw things. Before this video went up, there should be a torso tutorial, and there's also some older tutorials that I've done. Both going over head construction, playing with your ability to do line control, and also the advanced stick figure tutorial that will help you do poses as quickly as I did here. We also stream during the weekdays from 4:30 to around about 10 p.m. And then it varies on weekends. We do video games, and we also do art and animation. I usually stream myself working on my films, so, you know, feel free to come on by. We also have a Discord available, but to get in, you have to join the stream, show us that you're a cool person, and then we will give you the link. Because, you know, gotta make sure you're chill before you hop on in. If you are intent on joining the Discord, we'd love to have you, and we'd love to see your art as well. That's pretty much why I made the Discord, is so that people have an easier time getting access to me, asking me questions. I'm also available during stream if I'm working on art, to answer any questions that you may have at any time. Same thing in the comments. Please, you know, if you have anything that you want to say, I'm more than happy to hear. I keep up with them pretty regularly, because, you know, not a lot of people comment as is, because I don't really make many videos. I mostly stream. But I hope, you know, you got something out of this video, or, you know, you're a little more interested in my film now. Or you got reminded of the old Nickelodeon, you know, cartoon bits. But I hope you have a good night, or day, or afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope to see you in stream if you decide to stick around. But yeah, peace.